She did the confessional.
So who gets,
So
who gets
breakdown.
the price?
I feel like you're worthy of it, but I don't. I feel like there should have been a breakdown and what was worth.
He didn't ask for that. He didn't ask for that though, Miss Netra. He didn't ask for that. I gave him what he asked for.
You were looking for negotiations, and he didn't negotiate with you. However, he did tell you how much he was willing to pay for you doing the extra work that you did, which was the $350. Did you accept the $350?
No. I don't think
she got that. Hold on, somebody else paid that. She got that while we were gone.
Oh, so he didn't pay no extra. You still haven't gotten paid?
No,
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm looking at.
Y'all getting ahead.
Right, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah, we getting ahead. We ain't made it there yet. Order the juke junk. Order the juke junk. Rachel paid $350. One of his supporters.
Oh.
Right. So on that Sunday, the 8th, because I wrote my dates down, that's when they sat down and had the conversation, and then they spoke about the negotiating, and he said, well, you want me to just hold on to this until you get your information back to me.
Right.
That information came to him on the 12th. I wrote it down.
Right.
So that's when he left the message. He responded in the congratulations, the promoted and astonished initiative and everything.
Right.
How I'm looking at it, as by now she has not, by the 12th, she still had not received anything. So it's still open for negotiation because she had not received anything. And from the 8th to the 12th, because I thought it was a week that they had, that she had gotten back with him. But it was actually only, a few days, 2-3 days. So now we're still, so I'm gonna scratch out the $350 because if we look at the date on the 12th, she still had not received anything. So
I want to point this out too. I want to point this out in that text message. It says, I told them on my live last night, you went above and beyond. So that first message where he's saying congratulations, you've been promoted. He was already looking at the quality of work that she gave and decided that he was going to give her a better position coming in.
Right.
So he understood that she needed to get paid more for her work, but that does not necessarily saying that she would have got paid for the past. Voted again looks like she's going to be getting paid more in the future for what she's going to do in the future season.
I wish you fix your phone because this is good now. But we can't hardly hear you.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So again, that text message is saying that he was already impressed with her work before even hearing her recording or a partial of her recording. He already was trying to feel like, he wanted to promote her and put her in a different space. What I want to point out to the court, too, Your Honor, is that even though I really believe that Petty did some great work, she went above and beyond. She saw some gaps that was being present and she filled them. And it's really hard to find people on your team like that. He even acknowledged himself in the text messages like she went above and beyond. So that's good. What I'm struggling most with, though, is that it was clear that she walked into the situation with a personal and professional agenda. She came in expecting for experience and an opportunity to grow into what she's trying to do. She said multiple times in that recording, like, I want to get my name out there. I want my name in the credits. I want to be on the paid production and I want to be in the cast. So she had a ton of personal agendas in that. And I think that she's not considering that when she's charging the excessive amount of $700 for the additional work and for what he asked her to do, because she's still expecting something from him in the platform that she came to. That's my thought there.
I don't think she had no agenda. I think that she made that decision after she was doing all the extra work that she was doing. I don't think she came in there with the agenda, I'm going to come in and do some extra work and I'm going to ask him for this and I'm going to ask him for that. I think once she started doing extra, that's when the other agreements, that's when she said, hey, let me ask him about this. I don't think she came in the door with an agenda.
I believe that she did.
Why wouldn't you? If I had more followers, if I have more followers and I'm promoting and I know that it's going to get a lot of traction on my end compared to the other people that's in the house, I would ask for more money before I signed anything. If I knew who was in the house and I'm like, okay, well, compared to them on the app, it's giving Big Boss over here. So I'm going to need Big Boss money because I'm not going to get paid the same amount that they're going to get paid. But if you didn't already,
that's not what I thought.
Oh, okay.
I would say
I'm gonna say that. We already asked that, and I said I didn't go in with any preconceived notion to ask for anything extra because I didn't know that I was going to be asked to do extra. I didn't know that. So I couldn't come in and say, oh, he's going to ask me to do extra. So on Sunday, I'm going to say I want extra money. There's no way to know that.
So he might flip it around.
Would you have done extra? Would you have done extra if he had not asked you?
I don't know.
Bro?
I can't say that. I can't say yes or no because I don't know.
I from knowing you, from knowing you, as long as I've been knowing you, I think you would have. And then when he asked you, that amplified you, to go forward. But I think, because I also heard you say that you didn't really have the experience, I think when you started to do all of this, it clicked in your head like, you know what, I could get paid for this. I think it was done I think you did it backwards because you didn't know because of the experience moving forward. You feel me?
But so that also goes both ways, Winston. That also goes both ways.
It does. But listen, he's in full control at this moment, right? He's in full control at this moment. So when y'all go down there, he's in control. However, when you see that you can put your hands here, you can control this, you can control this, you could be here, you could be there. Oh, you know what? Damn, I could get paid for this. Now it clicked in your head. Now it clicks in your head as if I can get paid. So now let me give him a price what I think I'm worth. Because I've been hearing $1,200. I've been hearing $1,200, but I didn't see no $1,200 in no text message. I haven't heard nobody talk write it down. It wasn't in no contract. So I'm still trying to find out where the 1200 come from. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Because he asked me how much I wanted. He didn't say give me an itemized bill. That's not what he said. If he would have asked for an itemized bill, I would have said, okay, 6 hours of content going live at $75 an hour. That's what I'm asking for this. For doing Chef Foxy's confessional by myself, that was 2 hours. $150 an hour for that. If he had asked for an itemized bill, I would have given that to him. But that's not what he asked for. He asked me what he Sunday, and I said that already. Sunday, sitting at the table.
And I want to put up another message while she does this.
Does the message acknowledge that he knew that it was $1,200 that she wanted? Did he ever acknowledged that you wanted $1,200?
Right.
Okay, so I would like
the recording.
No, did he acknowledge?
Listen to the recording, he heard it.
Right. Did he ever say anything after he said, "Let me finish listening"?
Okay, so here is another message. Let me do this right quick, because I do have questions with this to move forward as far as the negotiation part. This is good, y'all. So in this message here, Sunday, December the 15th, jurors, please pay attention and reek up. In this message here, December the 15th at 1:32 p.m., Petty Row. Hey, did you have somebody send me some money? Bray King, yes. $300. That's my mama's cash app. He said, I kept the $200 open for the renegotiation part. So it's not like you got paid completely. She said, okay, thank you. He said, you're welcome. You got an idea when you free to link up at Fab office. She said, give me a couple options when you're available and I'll pick one. I get home late Tuesday night, so anytime after that. Wednesday, December 25th, she said, Merry Christmas. December the 28th, another message. So I do want to bring this to the court's attention. Somebody said, wow, she's trying to make the jury change. No, I'm presenting evidence. This is Exhibit B. In this text message, there is conversation about a renegotiation.
Can I say
so
something?
With that being said, I don't think I've been biased at all in this. I really think I'm letting the jurors do most of the talking. It's okay.
Can I say something right quick?
Yes.
So it clearly says open for the renegotiation because he wanted it in writing. That's why he wanted to meet at Fab's office to get the $1,200 and the other pieces in writing. The renegotiation, he wanted it in writing. That's why we were meeting at Fab's office to sign the paperwork.
Sign or to go over the paperwork, because that will mean
Sign the paperwork.
Well, he previously agreed to pay you $1,200 for what you.
That is what he wanted to sign. That is why he only sent me a portion of it so he could keep it open so that the contract is not closed until we got the rest of the paperwork signed.
Did he agree to 12?
If it was closed and he was only going to pay me $500, why not send the full $500? Come on, y'all.
I agree with that, but I don't see how we are saying that it was $1,200. If there was no negotiation, you threw out $1,200, but that's not.
And he agreed. That's what I'm trying to tell
In
you.
writing, did he agree? That's what I think.
He wanted to counteract it. Why didn't he? If you don't agree with what somebody is asking, you say no, but, or yes, but, and you give the other options. If you just say, yes, let's sign the paperwork, that means you agree with what I said and what I asked.
Yeah, but you never put in writing anywhere.
I need help, y'all. Did I miss the $1,200 somewhere?
You did. We
He
all
mentioned
did.
$1,200 in the voice recording, but
He said $1,200 in the
that's all
recording.
I'm trying to say. He never acknowledged $1,200. Now you're saying he agreed to it, but I don't see him saying I agree to $1,200. He's saying, hey, look, let's link up. Let's talk about it. Let's sign papers.
He didn't. If I gave what I asked for and his response was congratulations, where is that he didn't? You're asking me to prove that he did. You proved to
Let me make sure that in the recording
That he didn't. That he didn't do
Now,
it. That's
I
right.
wanted to throw this out there. I don't know if y'all know.
Recording in
Okay, one at a time. So the coming cousin jurors, because these comments is 50-50 right now. I'm looking, it's 50-50.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if y'all know that there's a female, I believe it's a female, that says it's like, you have now been promoted. You are now a second such, like favorite employee or some shit like that. So I think that he was saying, hey, look, I'm going to acknowledge that you put in the work. And I will, when it comes to production team, I'll keep you in mind, or at the same, I might even have you a part of the production team because you've been promoted. I'll give you extra, but I don't think you're an elite employee. I don't think that I would have never taken it that way. I would have taken it like, okay, he's saying that he gonna put me on. I might get some extra money, but I would have never thought the $1,200 was what he was agreeing to. That's just me. I would have been like, okay, so now he's talking about we need to link up, we need to talk about it, or we gonna sign some papers. That's when we would be talking about how much money we're actually agreeing to.
We're not talking about you and your train of thought, though.
No, I understand, but I want you to also acknowledge that we're not just talking about your train of thought either. We're also talking about breaking.
We're also talking about in the response, he put the money emojis. If I ask for cake, are you going to put money emojis? If I ask for a puppy,
money emojis. That's all I'm saying.
If I ask for a puppy, would you put money emojis in your response to me? You're going to put something in reference to what I asked for.
Money emojis, it doesn't say $1,200 money emojis. It does say money. So I'm not saying that he's not agreeing to giving you money. I'm saying it doesn't say $1,200. That's all I'm getting at.
Petty, what I'm so concerned with as well is that even though you set up the recording, meaning that you wanted to collect, you wanted to communicate, why didn't you communicate the $1,200 via text message as well? Like, in all of these messages,
I just gave all of it in a voice recording.
No. In the message where he said, we'll keep it open, I'll give you $300, so it's not like you're paid in full. Why didn't you respond back and say, all right, awesome, I'll wait on the $900? When will that?
Why would I feel like I needed to?
Because here's the thing, Patty, when it comes to
this is where we can say the lack of, because where it sounds like the jurors or they're wanting more proof of a straightforward, I want $1,200 from you. And so since there is not any in or he didn't completely say, okay, Petty, I'm gonna give you $1,200. They're stating now, why is there not something that completely binds him to you wanting $1,200 is what I hear.
Business.
So
And something else is
who failed, Winston?
we can only go by what the words are. When we're getting into
Please don't let anybody up if it's not my starting jurors. This is not the time for discussion. I'm sorry. But here in the Jew joint, we don't let TikTok come up in the boxes and everybody come with all these questions and stuff. If there are any questions and Patty feels like answering them, she will. But we're not doing that to her, y'all. There's been enough going on this. After we hear this case and get a decision from the coming cousin jurors, then it's wrap. We're not coming up and down. We don't do that over here in the Jew joint. We want to keep it where the people know what happened. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. If it's biased, go to the next slide where they don't give a fuck. I do.
So Patty, what the one thing,
And I hate that y'all. And I guess one thing about it is, well, let me not say that. Never mind. Go ahead.
what I was gonna say is when it really comes to, if you do to try to take it to a court of law, I've worked with plenty of lawyers. The one thing that a lot of them have said is that if it is not in writing, words can easily be misconstrued or changed around and turned into a joke. So if you do not get in writing, if it doesn't say in the text messages, whether you got that recording or not, the recording, if you didn't say it in that, they are all about what they can see and also what they can hear. So if you didn't do it on the voice message, meaning they could hear it, they have to see it now. If they do not see it, that to them looks like, oh, technically he's just supposed to give you 500. There was no mention of 1,200. So when it comes to lawyers taking this to an actual court, they do not see any agreement, anything that has written down $1,200 that he agreed to any of that. He can easily, and what lawyers is going to do is they're going to pick you apart. They're going to be like, well, there's nothing that this $1,200 is nowhere to be seen. It's nowhere to be seen. So I'm saying, like, us aside, if you're really taking it that far, they're not really going to be in your favor. They're going to flip. But
this is entertainment. This is entertainment.
Right.
So I don't want to get into the Jew jokes.
Right.
But let her finish though. Let her
okay,
finish,
and then Ginger, because this is entertainment purposes only. But
I understand. But when it comes down to it, he's acknowledging just your worth, but he's leaving it open to interpretation, to how he will see it and spin it to not favor you. That is how he's leaving it open.
Okay, so since you got experience, can I ask you a question? Can I get a sidebar,
yes,
Judge?
ma'am.
So being that the contract stated that I was supposed to get a certain amount of money in a certain form, if I did not get it, the date that I was supposed to get it, the amount that I was supposed to get, in the form that I was supposed to get, would that be considered that he breached the original contract?
He did, because when they made the decision, but also he can flip it around and say, well, I did offer to hold on to this money, and she said, okay.
He breached the contract.
To leave it open to negotiation, but he did breach your contract. He should have just paid that out and said, we're going to leave it open for negotiation for the other portion that you believe you are entitled to and what I owe you. That is how it should have been done. He should have never kept it. He should have paid his part. Like he said, none of this half and half, because you didn't do half the work, and then said you do the other half later.
What I do?
It is about, he has to stick to that original obligation to, this is this 500, but I'm leaving open for negotiation for the other half. That's what should have been said.
Okay. So with that being said, it's time to move on down the road. Is there any other evidence that needs to be presented? We need to hear from Ginger. Ginger has not spoke, and she's been holding back. She is one of the jurors that has been holding back. And so I would like to hear from her. And then we have to get into the phase. I think Winston might have got dropped because of in the truck. He's not driving, but I think they might have got you, Winston. Did it say you can't come back up in the box? Now, I would like to know this. This is a very important question. Is there a contract? Any type of contract that you have? Because from what I hear and gather from when going around TikTok and listening, it seems as though people signed contracts. Is there any type of signed agreement between you and Mr. King?
I think I sent you the talent release form, I think. Is what
And what can we find in this talent release form?
No, yeah, don't show it because it's got people names on it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't even see it. I don't see it, so that's probably a good thing because I don't want people's stuff. Shout out to Mimi FOE. She said gonna show up and show out. Thank you for my cash out, Mimi. And then I got another cash out from Not Nosy. Get me a Starbucks. I sure will. We got a new one in town. You must have knew. So with that being said, I'm not gonna be showing people's information. So that information will be kept confidential. So I cannot put that. I'm not going to even look for it because I'm not going to put it up. It's very relevant to this case. With that being said, I think it's time to get into the deliberation because there's really nothing else. What we have to do that I feel as though we have to determine right now if $700 more is warranted to the witness. And we have to figure out if $350 that was paid, even though it does not matter who paid it. Let me make myself clear. It does not matter if it came from Barry King's pocket or one of his followers. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. If somebody paid it for him, it's paid forward. That will be considered a payment. I'm sorry. So with that being said, I think it's time for us to hear from Miss Patty to see if there's anything else she wants to present to the joint, and then we will hear from the jurors. But we must consider Miss Rachel, and a big shout out because $350 is a lot of money
coming from anybody. And I did say thank you to Miss Rachel over the weekend. I did say thank you, even though I don't know her. I said it on the live.
Ginger, let us hear from you, and then we'll go into deliberation. Ginger.
Well, from the text response to the voice memo, it seems to me that there is acknowledgement of additional help. There's acknowledgement of being promoted. I think what we shouldn't get into is what he meant. We don't know what he meant. We don't know what he felt. We just know what he typed. And it is congratulations, you've been promoted. And when we start adding, well, he meant this, he could have meant that. What it says, let's just go by what it says and not by what the streets has, over the period of time, what we've come up with in our own minds. And this does look like an acknowledgement. As far as an amount, we can't say that he's acknowledging an additional, that he's acknowledging the amount that she stated. And I think what should be owed is the original contract, which was the $500, I believe. And he said that he gave $300 and $200 was pending. So if she received $350 that someone gave on his behalf, I would think that the $150 would be a call it even because there's no specifics in writing or verbal that the 1.2 was ever agreed upon.
I also wanted to just ask real quick, did you breach the NDA by bringing everything up, even like going live? Because I know a lot of people were confused. And
No, everybody was live in the house.
He said
Greg
to go
King was
live.
live in the house. Everybody was live in the house. It wasn't just me. Everybody was live. Everybody was hopping in each other's lives, including Greg King.
okay.
That whole weekend.
And did you get the extra 200 that you were owed? As opposed,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How much have you been paid in full, Miss Petty?
I got 2 separate transactions from him that did equal 300, and I thought I sent you that, Miss Netra. And
No.
we all know the 350 sent from Rachel.
So $950?
No, that'll be $850.
Oh, I thought, okay. So you have received $850.
Yes,
so you still received more than what you were originally supposed to get.
but I didn't receive the $1,200 that he agreed to when he said, "Congratulations, money symbol, you have been promoted."
So that money.
Wait, so did he agree to the 1,200 in conversation with you?
Yeah.
Or did he agree to the 1,200 in the text?
Signing the paperwork for. That is what the paperwork was for. That's what I keep saying, and I've said it from the beginning.
On the paperwork, it said 1,200.
That is the reasoning. He never kept the appointments. He scheduled several appointments. Some of the people in the comments know. He even scheduled an appointment with me the last time that we spoke. I can't remember the date, but some of the people were in the live. He gave me a choice on the live between a Thursday and a Friday. I believe my daughter's homecoming was that Friday. So I said, I'll do Thursday at 11 o'clock, I believe. He was supposed to get me the address to the office for me to show up and sign the paperwork and finish it up. And I kept asking for the address. He never sent it, and he stopped responding altogether.
When it comes to signing documents,
And Miss Netra has those messages where I kept asking for the address. Are we still gonna meet? I sent that to Miss Netra.
Petty, this is a very important
he
question.
didn't
Hold on,
send this
Mari,
to you.
1 second, Mari. Can you let me get this question in?
Go ahead.
So just to clarify, you said that he agreed to the 1,200 in person or in text message?
We've talked on the phone.
You talked on the phone. Okay.
Yes.
So
we talked on the phone, we text, and we talked over on the different lives, across his lives, across my lives, maybe even somebody else's. But we also
just keep it very clear for me. Keep it very clear. At what point did he say $1,200 is what I'm going to pay you? And was that on a conversation?
There's no conversation in here about the price other than, there's nothing in the text messages. And I just went through the messages. If y'all would like to see the messages, I will show them. But there is no agreement in either of these messages that say $1,200.
No, y'all, it's not another $1,200.
No, Petty, I think you're distracted. We're getting distracted.
No, so I was responding to somebody.
Okay, we're getting distracted. I just want to know specifically, when you talked to him on the phone, he said to you, "I agreed to pay you $1,200."
Come in, correct? Let's get the paperwork signed. He wanted it signed in paperwork.
Okay, so hear me out. So hear me out. Earlier in your testimony, when we played the recording and we were looking at the text messages indicated that he had not listened to the full recording, and you pointed out that you didn't ask
had
for
to if he
second.
responded, because that was at the end. The ask was first. I mean, the reasoning why I was asking is first. You had to get to the end of the recording to know what I was asking for. That is what I'm trying to tell y'all. For him to say he did not finish the recording, you have to go through my reasoning first to get to what I asked for.
So with that being said,
you had already communicated $1,200 with him. That's what I'm trying to point out.
But y'all asking the same question just a different way, and she giving the same answer. There is nothing that we can find in writing that states that she wanted
The number
$1,200.
1,200.
Okay, so at this point, the
Right.
850, they will say that that's paid in full. That's
Let me finish. I'm finna get to that. Give me a second. Don't jump over the moon yet. So with that being said, we have to get to the nitty gritty, or we'll be here all night talking about $850 was given. That's for a weekend. That is for what allegedly he must feel like it's worth. So now $850 is on the table. Let's talk about it. Is $850 enough?
it is at this point with nothing in
Hold
writing.
on, I'm not through. Because at this point, I could say confessional was $350. That was her work.
Can I add one more? Can I add one more piece of evidence?
Yes.
Well, I don't have the recording, but when he was on Tea Times Live, she talked to him about the whole situation, and he admitted that he was wrong and that he had me fucked up.
I heard that he said
did,
that.
in fact, that he did in fact have me fucked up, and that I did ask for that. All of that. He admitted that on Tea Times Live.
So will that? So if we will have to, because as of right now, we heard that during the phone call, but I do not know if we can present that as evidence unless we get it in a recording. Because as of right now, that will be hearsay, I'm sure, for the coming cousin jurors.
Judge,
I don't have the live because it wasn't mine.
Right.
can I ask a question?
Hold on, because you just coming in late. I don't know. I didn't want no more juries up, so we got to be careful with just coming in. And so, what's your question, Miss Panky? Because I don't know. Winston was the jury.
My comment, cousin. So I've been here. My question is for Petty Rowe. When y'all was on the phone, he agreed to the 1,200, correct? So is it safe
The
to
number
say that
That's all going to be hearsay, Kim. That's not going to help this case because we weren't on that phone call. We have no evidence that man agreed to $1,200. So we cannot sit here in the juke joint and make him be guilty of saying, I'll give you $1,200.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Netra. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the agreed amount was $500. He done already paid over that amount. Was he paying toward that 12?
You know, Kim, listen.
That's why it was broken up, and he specifically said, I'm breaking it up because we still have unfinished business. So I'm not going to pay you in full because it's not the full payment.
Did say that.
So if you have that on a document,
I'm sorry, Miss Panky. Miss Panky, I love you, first cousin in real life, but I must excuse you from this case. I'm sorry, kinfolk and all. This is the juke joint. This is not Billy Leon's courtroom. We do not let you come up and have questions from the comments section. If you did not start this case when we started, I know you feel like your comment and your remarks are very important to this case, but I cannot let you come in and badger the witness. We have made it this far. We are at the end of this case, and we cannot start over. This is a very touchy situation for me. So we don't want to get everybody up here to ask Petty Rowe questions. We have jurors up here to do that. I love everybody. Lottie Dottie is included in that. As shall we continue. Peaches, strike from the records. The last question is coming from Panky. We cannot present that into this juke jump. $850 is a lot of money for a weekend. I understand Petty Rowe is worth it. I understand Petty Rowe is worth it. I love Petty Rowe. To me, Petty Rowe got a shit going on. But when it comes down to business, Petty Rowe, you left some tables unturned. Oh,
Yes.
we all know if it ain't documented, it did not happen. We all know if it's not written in stone, it did not happen. Of course.
That's not true.
Hold on. Give me 2.2.
That's not true.
Give me
Okay, go ahead.
2.2. Hold on. Because let me tell you why I say that. Because you wanted $1,200. But the juke joint does not have evidence that he agreed to the 1,200. That's my only fight right now, and that's what makes it hard. Because though you put it in a recording, he listened to it, even his own words don't say, I'm going to give you $1,200. It seems as though he bounced around a little bit, and it was a playtime. But I don't see the seriousness in, I want my money. You were serious, but he wasn't prompt. He wasn't direct. He never said, yes, I'm going to give it to you. Okay, Eric paid, you do. He said you went above and beyond. But $850 is a lot above and beyond. Is
Just
what?
anything.
Give me 2.2. So I'm so glad that I'm not the one that get to make it, because if I went somewhere and I did more work, I'm gonna want more pay. If I tell somebody, because this is where you're right and this is where I see him wrong, that's why I'm not the juror that has to make the decision. I feel like in that recording, once you told him and he sit back, his first response and said, congratulations, I do believe he listened to the whole recording. I believe at that moment he was acknowledging your words from your recording. But he never said yes. He said, congratulations. You went above and beyond. He acknowledged the work, but to me, he never put a definite on the pay. I'm not done talking. I want to share it because this is hard. Oh, girl, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. We need Tea Time Live, somebody said. Because if we can get him saying I fucked up or I got petty effed up and I was wrong, we can take that into consideration. But we don't have that evidence coming, cousin jurors. Right Eye Regal. I need to hear from the jurors. We're going to go in that way.
Somebody got it. They sent me something.
Let's get it.
If you
Let's
want to
get
it. If they already made up their mind that
oh no, it's the comment cousin
he didn't
jurors,
acknowledge
man.
it, even though he kept saying we need to meet in the office to sign
That's
paperwork.
what I was going to ask.
Know what the paperwork is for if he didn't agree to what it was. But if they already made
The
up
mind
their
ain't
mind,
mine up. We
saying
ain't
we
put
need
the jury poll up. It's
Mine ain't never made up
1600.
until the last.
It could have just been he wanted to get you there to try to negotiate you down. You never know, because that could have been another thing.
Oh, somebody said they sent me something. Hold on,
still
y'all. We got some
speculation,
evidence
though.
here.
So the times that you were going to the office that was rescheduled, it didn't happen, whatever, it didn't happen to get there to sign the contract. Did you ever see a physical copy of it, or did you just know that it had been produced? Did you ever see it?
No, I never saw it. No,
Okay.
I didn't.
But you do know that it was produced, but you never saw it.
He never sent it to me because, again, that's what I was coming to the office for.
Okay.